checking how many of you all have heard of P2P or understand P2P, and some of you all are part of the earlier session, तो idea तो थोड़ा बहुत होएगा ही. But by show of hands, P2P किसने, how many of you all understand?
I know P2P.
And any of you all who are working with either one or many P2P platforms? And with liquid loans?
Yet to start.
Got it. And what is the notion that you all, the ones who are working with either us or LinkedIn or any other P2P platform, what is your notion? And investors क्या सवाल पूछ रहे? So I'll try to address some of those during the conversation.
They want safety of their principal and why and how it is safe is their more concern.
So safety, जो obviously कोई भी fixed income product में first question investors को होता है कि is my principal and capital safe? Anything else? और क्या पूछना है?
Better than market.
Correct. Sir, anything that investors have asked अभी तक आप लोग?
And shortest period.
Shortest time.
And longest period.
Any other advisors?
Fixed income products or double-digit returns are getting through so many products. So NCDs are there, bonds are there, even equities are there. The concept is very new, but it is people are also accepting the concept nowadays. So due to the emerging of the fintech platforms and new age investors.
Sure.
But still, the amount of confidence and amount of the clarity we need to build up. We both together we need to build up to the investors. Definitely, this industry is very good and having a good potential.
Got it. And typically क्या use case के लिए मैम सर डालना है investors, like what is the use case जिसके लिए आप recommend कर दो this product or these set of products, and investors क्या reason से डालते हैं?
To get away from market volatility. अगर 7 साल का या फिर 10 साल का goal है तो 80% equity में रखो time पे. अगर लास्ट के 1-2 साल आता है तो शिफ्ट टू दिस
सो गोल बेस्ड इन्वेस्टिंग कि अगर कोई भी शॉर्ट टर्म गोल है तो वो पैसा ऑब्वियसली इक्विटी में नहीं जा सकता है, वो फिक्स्ड इनकम प्रोडक्ट में डालेंगे. फिक्स्ड इनकम प्रोडक्ट में भी इन्वेस्टर्स को थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा रिटर्न तो चाहिए. अंडरस्टूड. सो दैट इज अ यूज केस कि 2 साल बाद लेट्स से आई वांट टू सेंड माय चाइल्ड फॉर अब्रॉड फॉर एजुकेशन, तो उनका 20 लाख का गोल है, तो दैट मनी यू आर सेइंग इज गोइंग इनटू दिस काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट.
कैन यू सजेस्ट सम अदर यूज केसेस?
Sure. So 2-3 use case जो हमने
And
recommend
one
करते
more
हैं.
point, the borrower also point like if some of my investor, if he want to borrow money, he also should know the procedure for that.
Sure, I'll cover that. So I'll cover for a few more use cases that you had asked. One is जैसे I'm sure कई सारे investors आपके आते होंगे. I can use a mix of Hindi and English, right?
Yes, will do.
So lot of investors come and say कि 5 लाख 10 लाख का एक कॉर्पस आया है कि अगर कोई सैलरी बंदा है उसका बोनस आया है, if some businessman is there, he's either sold a land या कुछ एक कैश फ्लो आया है, वो उनका होता है कि एक बार शॉर्ट टर्म में पार्क करना है, मेरे को पता नहीं कितने समय के लिए यूज केस होएगा, तो वो फिट्स इन वेरी वेल, राइट? शॉर्ट टर्म में यू कांट invest into equity because he might need the money back 1-1.5 साल लगा अगर उसका लाइसेंस नहीं है तो. So that use case fits in very well. Senior citizens है who actually want some monthly cash flow, or even couples today, right? जिनको let's say उनका rent is 30,000-40,000 rupees, they can park a lump sum amount here. Monthly cash flow आता है, इससे monthly interest आता है, principal remains as is. जो monthly interest आता है वो they can use for meeting some of their expenses. That is another use case. Third is let's say an equity plus SIP combo, P2P plus SIP combo. You put a certain amount into the P2P platform, उसका जो monthly interest आ रहा है reinvest into SIPs. So from an investor perspective, जो SIP जा रहा है is actually zero cost. वो profit से पूरा SIP गया. So that fits in very well for a lot of investors. वो उनके mind में फिर volatility भी अगर आता है तो they are okay with that क्योंकि वो initial cost of that SIP is close to zero.
Capital is secure.
Capital is secure, उसका monthly interest आते जा रहा है. जैसे आपने 10 लाख रुपए आज डाल दिए, उससे हर महीने 8-9,000 रुपीस का इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है, उससे एक SIP बना दिया, तो उनका प्रिंसिपल इज सेफ. जो इंटरेस्ट आया विच इज प्रॉफिट फॉर द इन्वेस्टर गोज इनटू एन SIP. सो मेंटली ही इज वेरी वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट कि इसका तो जीरो कॉस्ट है, ये SIP में जो भी पैसा गया है उसमें आई हैव नॉट पुट अ सिंगल रुपी ऑफ प्रिंसिपल, इट हैज कम फ्रॉम माय पास्ट प्रॉफिट्स. सो दैट कॉम्बो इज वर्किंग वेरी वेल. ये एक लमसम आज आया, वैसे भी आज के दिन जब मार्केट्स आर क्लोज टू ऑल टाइम हाई, most advisors are probably not recommending कि aggressively आप equity में पैसा डालें. That money can go either into this kind of product or go into an SWP. कि हमारे we are soon launching an SWP product कि 10 लाख आप डाल दीजिए, हर महीने थोड़ा principal plus interest वापस आएगा. That again can be parked into an equity fund.
Just an experiment. If we don't want to shift the whole amount in the SIP, ML, can we do a proportionate thing.
So you can split
some
it.
can reinvest and some can go in.
Correct. तो आप schemes ही split कर दीजिए. We have multiple options. ऐसा नहीं कि एक investor if he is putting 8 lakhs on the platform, उनको एक ही option select करना है. आप चार जैसे भी आपको ratio चाहिए, 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs, 2 lakhs to 6 lakhs, वो दो अलग-अलग scheme में डाल दीजिए. One scheme will keep compounding, the other scheme will keep paying interest. तो आप वो maneuver कर सकते हैं, manage कर सकते हैं on behalf of the investors. Okay, so we start now. Okay, so as some of you are aware, we are Liquiloans. We are probably the largest P2P lending platform in the country. We'd like to extend a very warm welcome to all participants at TFF. Before even getting into what our product is, and actually because there's a smaller audience, we'll keep it interactive. कोई भी अगर आपका questions है, please feel free to interrupt me in the interim, and I'll be more than happy to answer that. So first is overall P2P industry. I think investors का आपका the first thing to understand is what is this industry. ये थोड़ा new company है, new industry है. Where is this headed? Where does it stand as compared to the mutual fund industry? It is very important to understand the context. So unlike mutual funds, P2P is a very nascent industry, very recent industry. पिछले 5 साल पहले RBI ने 2018 में P2P के अराउंड regulations लाए थे कि कौन सी कंपनी P2P का लाइसेंस ले सकती है, how are they expected to operate, what are the terms and conditions under which you have to operate, क्या guidelines है, क्या constraints है, everything RBI, who is the regulator of P2P industry, had come out with in 2018. 2017. उसके बाद some of the companies applied for license, some of the companies were existing. They had to apply for the renewal license, and since then they have started operating in this industry. Now one thing to understand is, although it is at nascent stage, early signs are very strong. जैसे म्यूचुअल फंड जब 95 में लॉन्च हुआ था, तब इन्वेस्टर्स भी कम थे, एडवाइजर्स भी कम थे. दैट इंडस्ट्री इन स्पाइट ऑफ हैविंग द बेस्ट नेम्स टुक अ सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम टू ग्रो. अब जब P2P लॉन्च हुआ, इकोसिस्टम ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट करता है. देयर आर थाउजेंड्स ऑफ एडवाइजर्स लाइक यू ऑल, इन्वेस्टर्स आर बेटर एजुकेटेड. तो कोई भी न्यू प्रोडक्ट आएगा जो अच्छा है, उसका अडॉप्शन इज गोइंग टू बी मच फास्टर. So growth of P2P industry is going to be much higher than mutual funds in the near future. So advisors also have to think, should I include this as one of my products in the asset classes and recommend it to investors, because growth is going to be very high. Sooner or later investors adopt करेंगे. तो क्वेश्चन ये है कि आप उनको इंट्रोड्यूस करते हुए ये प्रोडक्ट कि वो खुद न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ते हैं या कहीं और पढ़ते हैं, or some other advisors goes to the investor and recommends this product. Even if you intend not to recommend this product, at least introduce कर दीजिए concept को. So at least the investor knows कि you are aware of this concept and you have chosen not to recommend it right now. It should not be कि उसको लगे कि आपने research ही नहीं किया about this product before. He is introduced to this product by someone else. So the growth of the industry is going to be very high next 4 or 5 years. Much higher than mutual fund growth. Having said that, size is still going to be low. Mutual fund is a 45 lakh crore industry. This is not going to be 45 lakh crores in the next 10 years also, right? One disadvantage that P2Ps have as compared to mutual funds is कि इसमें बड़े names नहीं है. You don't have a Tata, you don't have a Birla, you don't have a Reliance in this industry because this is a tech oriented product, right? तो इसमें early adopters हमारे जैसे आएंगे जो startups होते हैं, right? बड़े hotel chains थे, Tata था, Oberoi था, but Oyo came in and became the largest player in the hotel segment in the last 4-5 years. So this segment is going to be dominated by startups. तो अगर आप सोचेंगे कि trust आएगा because an HDFC will enter, be rest assured they will not enter. They are in the business of lending themselves. They will not use a P2P license.
Sir, can I ask one question?
Sure.
Rate of interest in the future are going to come down.
Correct.
What would be the fate of the investors, those who are doing for the long term? First thing. Second thing, your rate of interest would be reducing with the time.
Correct.
So how the things would be managed? Have you done the homework on that?
I'll answer that, sir. So I'll answer that in short and continue and then come back to it in the presentation. Short में, although the product should not be compared to an FD, the nature of the returns is similar to an FD, where we say कि अगर आपने एक बार के लिए investment डाल दिया at least on our platform, then अगर 3 साल के लिए investment किया है, 3 साल के लिए वो return ही बनेगा whether interest rates go up or down. अब जब 3 साल बाद वो पैसे mature होंगे, तब the then prevailing rates, उस टाइम जो रेट रहेगा उस पे उस इन्वेस्टर का रिन्यू होएगा. सो अनलाइक अ डेट म्यूचुअल फंड जहाँ अगर बीच में ऊपर नीचे होता है इंटरेस्ट रेट, तो इन्वेस्टर का जो पास्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट था उस पर भी इम्पैक्ट रहता है. इसमें वो कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं. दिस इज लाइक एन FMP जहाँ आपने एक बार डाल दिया, एक्सपेक्टेड रिटर्न था, अंडरलाइन इज लॉक, यू विल नॉट सी इंटरेस्ट रेट मूवमेंट्स इन द इंटरिम पीरियड.
नहीं, बट अगर आपने किसी को लोन किया और 2 साल बाद जो मार्केट रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट गिर जाता है. तो जिन्होंने आपसे लोन लिया है और वो आपको या तो रीपे नहीं करेंगे कि ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट है, और या ये वाली चीज़ है कि वो दूसरी जगह से लेके आपको पहले रीपे कर देंगे।
Sure.
तो आपका सेफ्टी मेजर्स वहाँ पे क्या रखा है?
गुड पॉइंट सर। सो इसमें हमारे लोन्स आर शॉर्ट टेन्योर और स्मॉल टिकट साइज लोन। जो आप फिनोमिनन बोल रहे हैं वो जनरली होम लोन में एग्जिस्ट करता है कि आपने होम लोन लिया है 50 लाख का, 75 लाख का, 1 करोड़ का, बड़ा अमाउंट है, उसमें आधा परसेंट 1% अगर रेट रिड्यूस हो गया तो आप रीपे कर देते हैं और दूसरे लेंडर से ले लेते हैं, एंड वहाँ प्री क्लोजर चार्जेस नहीं होते। नॉर्मली इन पर्सनल लोन बैंक के साथ भी अगर आप लेंगे 2-3% प्री क्लोजर चार्ज, और शॉर्ट टेन्योर का लोन होता है 3 से 4 साल। तो अगर आप प्री क्लोज करके नया लोन लेंगे until interest rates are down by 3-4%, it will not make sense. So you will see banking data may be and NBFC data may be pre-closure rate is low. Having said that, we do no cost EMIs. जहाँ individual is not paying or borrower is not paying any interest, तो उसका incentive to pre-close is very low. In fact वो pre-close करता है तो हम खुश हैं क्योंकि उसकी EMI तो fixed है, तो at 0% है तो पूरा पैसा हमें जल्दी आ रहा है. But because of that construct, very few people end up prepaying. So I've given a context of why the industry is set to go. Another reason or very important is for you all to analyze कि आप लोग को क्यों evaluate करना चाहिए. One of the reasons I mentioned is at least introduce this product to your investors, saying कि this is something new in the market. ये इसके risk return है. But if they are comfortable or if they are interested, then you can recommend a certain set of products. But most importantly, the adoption of these products in the retail audience is very very high. What we've seen at least from our experience, because investors crave for a fixed return. उनको volatility नहीं पसंद है. उनको अगर आप बोलेंगे 12% आएगा in equity market over 5 years, तो एक तो 5 साल के लिए वो वेट नहीं करना चाहते. सेकंड, शॉर्ट टर्म में जब ऊपर नीचे होता है, I'm sure आप लोगों को मल्टीपल कॉल्स आते हैं कि क्या क्या लग रहा है, पैसा डालना चाहिए कि और डालना चाहिए कि थोड़ा निकाल लेना चाहिए and all of that.
Investor, if he invest for 3 years and he needs money after 1 year, so can he withdraw?
I'll cover that, ma'am. So I'll come to schemes. हमारे multiple schemes हैं, depending on what the investor का horizon at the time of investment is, he can pick and choose. So flexible options are available. एक बार उन्होंने option select कर दिया, अगर उनको flexibility चाहिए, that is
And if
definitely.
he doesn't select in the beginning, but later on he is in need of money then,
So he has to select in the beginning. एक जैसे purely
but
liquid,
not selected in the beginning.
वो मैम इन्वेस्ट ही नहीं कर सकते वैसे. इट्स लाइक आप समझ लीजिए बैंक में अगर जाने या तो अपने सेविंग्स में पैसे रखें या पे एक FD टेन्योर सिलेक्ट करना ही पड़ता है.
नहीं, जैसे एफडी में भी रखकर लेकिन उनको 2 साल में 5 साल के एफडी 2 साल बाद पैसा लगा तो वो लोग निकाल सकते हैं.
Correct. So a callable FD type equivalent. Again, I'm using FD as an example to explain the concept. It doesn't mean that the product is an
I
FD.
know.
तो callable option भी है हमारे पास, non-callable option भी. तो investor can select either of those two at the outset. Okay. So investors are going to really like this product क्योंकि fixed income product है इंडिया में. As most of you all know, FDs are the largest asset class, right? So sooner or later investors will flock to this product कि FD से 2-3% रिटर्न अगर एक्स्ट्रा मिल रहा है, जहाँ सेफ्टी ऑफ प्रिंसिपल है, like you mentioned the first question in the
Yeah.
past. अगर सेफ्टी है, उनको कंफर्ट आ जाता है, then a large amount of money will flow into this segment from the investor side. Second is for you all, right? It allows you to get new investors. Investors जो बहुत ही कंजर्वेटिव हैं, जो इक्विटी से नहीं शुरू करना चाहते हैं, सिर्फ FD इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, वैसे टाइप के इन्वेस्टर्स को आप ला पाओगे ऑन बोर्ड by saying कि this is a product which is similar to FD in terms of risk return. Risk is slightly higher and returns are also slightly higher. So it allows you to get new investors as well as जो existing investors का पैसा आपको access नहीं है, which is again parked in FDs or in bonds or in long duration NCDs and so on, वो पैसा यहाँ आ सकता है. So it allows you to not only get new investors but increase AUM from existing investors. And luckily this AUM is very sticky in nature. Because एक बार इसमें आ गया, there is no concept of market volatility where the investor will panic, there will be redemptions, AUM will go up because of markets going up or AUM will go down because of markets going down. It's extremely sticky AUM. Revenues again for the advisors are very comparable to equity MF, so it fits right in your ballpark. Ki debt product with very good revenues, unlike most debt mutual funds, is a very very important sell for most advisors.
How much is the revenue?
I'll come to that now. So like I mentioned, investors like it because most importantly consistent return. So debt MFP, if you look at the Indian landscape, the total volume in debt mutual funds is not commensurate to or nowhere close to how much FDs attract. That is because they are not able to communicate a fixed-ish kind of return. कि return हो सकता है 6% आए, हो सकता है 7% आए, depending on market circumstances and a bunch of other factors, which it becomes very difficult for advisors like you all to explain to individual investors. Institutional investors समझते हैं the risk dynamics of a debt mutual fund, but individual investors को समझाना is not very very easy. So therefore, debt mutual funds have not seen that level of adoption. But here, there is a hurdle rate or concept of indicative rate, which in most cases, most platforms are able to deliver upon. So investors therefore like a fixed or consistent return that is possible with this kind of asset class. Second is actually acts as true diversification. हम बोलते हैं कि investors should diversify within equity, within different asset classes, but there are very few products which are actually not correlated or interrelated. अगर equity गिरता है, there is some impact in sometimes gold also and some real estate and some other asset classes also. But an individual borrower will not stay up making his repayments if equity markets go down. So this is a product or an asset class which is genuinely uncorrelated to his other investment classes. So in the long run, अगर 10-20% या 5% उन्होंने portfolio यहाँ park किया है, it will act as a source of true diversification and hedge to the remainder of his portfolio. Again, finally, returns for him in the fixed income product, आप उठाएंगे any safe product that you pick up in the fixed income category, net returns. Let's say a debt mutual fund has a 8% gross YTM, expense ratio is about 1%, 1.25%. Net returns are below 7%. Here the net returns to the investor start at 8% and go up higher depending on the tenure that he is choosing. So net return here is higher than gross return for most fixed income products. And all of these numbers, by the way, pre-tax, I don't include the tax and
Net return for 3 months or 1 year.
for 3 months, ma'am, is 8.6, 1 year is close to 10%. Right. Second reason why investors like, I think the question that gentleman asked, more people are here, so I'll just repeat it in short, is कि ये investor के investment horizon में multiple use cases में fit होता है. A lot of your investors must be coming and calling you and saying कि एक 5 लाख या 10 लाख का cash flow आया है, I don't intend to use it in the short run, but I don't know whether I need it 3 months, 6 months hence. Where do I park it such that I don't at least make a bad return on that investment? That money, for example, can go into the liquid product that we have. Short-term parking हो गया. Whenever he wants to withdraw, either for reinvesting into equities, or for his personal use, or for purchasing any other asset, personal or business related, that can be used at that point of time. Short-term, जैसे हमने बोला कि any short-term goals that an investor has कि 1 साल बाद कुछ fixed expense है, either vacation or child's education or child's marriage, वो पैसा, any money or any goal within the next 2 or 3 years, that money can rarely go into an equity product, right? Because the minimum tenure or minimum horizon is 3 years, and ideal tenure is at least 4 to 5 years in equity. So any goal within a 3 to 4 year range, 0 to 3 to 4 years, that money can very easily get parked into this kind of a product, whilst generating a positive return or inflation beating return. ये नहीं हो कि उनका goal 2 साल बाद है, goal का जितना expense है, inflation है, उससे कम आपके product का investment आ रहा है. So he has to add capital at the end of those 2 years to be able to achieve the goal. Third is income generation. A lot of young couples or senior citizens want monthly income. कि I want to do some investment जिससे कुछ monthly cash flow आता है. Either I use that for meeting my expenses or for paying my rent or for any other use case. So that can happen. Most of the products that we've got, in fact all of them, have a monthly interest payout option. जितना भी month का interest accrue हो रहा है, gets paid out at the end of the in the first couple of days of the following month. This can become a fixed source of income for them by parking a lump sum capital. Excuse me. Finally, some advisors have started using a P2P and equity combo. कि P2P ने एक lump sum amount डाल दिया, say 10 lakh rupees, उससे जो month on month interest आ रहा है, that goes into an SIP. So it becomes a very strong or easy pitch to investors कि आपका जो SIP का पैसा है is going to come from your profits, not out of your own capital. So आप एक बार lump sum डालिए and SIP book धीरे-धीरे आपका बनते जाएगा without any effort at your end. And for your also the principal is safe in the P2P product.
Pardon me, how it will work over here?
Sure. So let's say I am an investor of yours.
Yeah.
I come in and I say I have 10 lakh rupees. So 10 lakh rupees आप P2P product में डाल देते हैं.
Okay.
उसका जो मंथली इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है, say for example 9,000 रुपीज, 9,000 रुपीज हर मंथ आ रहा है वापस, उसका आपने जिस दिन आ रहा है उसके 2 दिन बाद का एक SIP कर दिया. So पूरा पैसा उनके बैंक अकाउंट में गया, बैंक अकाउंट से NASH के थ्रू SIP हो गया. So from an investor perspective मैंने आज 10 लाख रुपए सिर्फ P2P में डाले और हर महीने वो P2P से इंटरेस्ट आते गया. P2P का प्रिंसिपल इज सेफ, व्हाटएवर प्रिंसिपल आई पुट इज सेफ. साइमल्टेनियसली यहाँ 1 साल में उसका 1 लाख का SIP बुक बन गया, 2 साल में 2 लाख का SIP बुक एट प्रिंसिपल. अगर उसमें जो भी ग्रोथ आएगा 10, 12, 15%, दैट इज ओवर एंड अबव दैट. सो इन्वेस्टर के माइंड में ये SIP जो था हैज एक्चुअली कम एट जीरो कॉस्ट, क्योंकि आई डिड नॉट पे अ सिंगल रुपी आउट ऑफ माय पॉकेट टू डू दिस SIP. अब द इन्वेस्टर विल बी वेरी वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट, ही इज नॉट गोइंग टू पैनिक बिकॉज वो बोले इसमें तो मेरा 1 रुपया प्रिंसिपल नहीं गया, अगर इसमें थोड़ा लॉस भी होता है आई एम ओके टू होल्ड फॉर द लॉन्ग रन बिकॉज आई एम नॉट पेड आउट ऑफ पॉकेट. सो इट बिकम्स अ वेरी स्टिकी SIP. जो SEBI data says right कि a lot of SIPs get cancelled within the first year or within the second year. That will rarely happen with this kind of a combo. So now I think larger audience is here. Before getting to what we do and how do we do it, we'll want to understand if you all have even come across this asset class, or if some of you all have recommended this asset class to your investors. What are the questions? What are the hesitations that some of your investors have? So I'll try to adequately cover those during the next 10-15 minutes.
Introduce how it works.
That is it. Any other questions that some of your investors have asked?
अभी बुक साइज कितनी है आपकी?
सर टोटल हमारा डिस्बर्समेंट हो गया अराउंड 4,000 crores.
और आपका कितना हुआ स्टार्टअप को कितना?
5 साल हो गए सर.
What is the collection mechanism?
I'll cover it.
NPS ratio क्या है?
NPS 0.84. So most of this information is there. What I just want to understand right now, and we have 10 minutes at the end for the Q&A. Any questions that your investors have asked you, उनको क्या doubt है around P2P, or you might have a lot of questions around P2P in terms of what is the risk and all of that. So I'll try to cover the risk first. Returns and the details about the platform are all there in the presentation.
Total industry size 10,000 crore है. आधा तो
That is particular. The industry का data is not very transparently available, but our understanding is we are slightly more than half the industry size.
Okay. Do you share the PPT like that to introduce to the investor?
Yes. So PPT भी share करते हैं. There is a bunch of marketing material, 1 pager, 2 pager, 4 pager, depending on how sophisticated the investor is. आप वो share कर सकते हैं. And continuously.
हम अपने मोबाइल में भी ट्रेन में बैठे किसी को बता सकते हैं. So even the traveling time.
खाना भी बना रही हैं, बच्चों के तैयार भी करा रही हैं, पति को भी तैयार कर रही हैं, और पता है क्लाइंट के साथ फोन पर भी बात कर रही हैं।
सर मैम से मेरे को वो याद है स्कूल
बहुत
में
enthusiastic।
फर्स्ट बेंचर होते थे ना, हमें उनसे हमेशा डर लगता था. हर बार होमवर्क करके आते हैं, क्वेश्चन सबसे ज्यादा होते हैं, और के चक्कर में टीचर हमें क्वेश्चन पूछती थी.
ये आरबीआई लाइसेंस देना और इसके अलावा और क्या काम करती है आपने? आपको एक तो लाइसेंस दे दिया,
करेक्ट.
ठीक है ना, और आपको रेगुलेट कर दिया, उसके अलावा और क्या मतलब सेफ्टी गार्ड है? आरबीआई मतलब क्या करेगी?
सर तो इसमें अभी
क्या
तक
बताता है?
और आई डोंट थिंक ग्लोबली कहीं भी प्रैक्टिस है जहाँ से आरबीआई के 2 ही सेफ्टी गार्ड होते हैं. एक तो कंटिन्यूअस मॉनिटरिंग टू इंश्योर कि इन्वेस्टर्स या जो भी लेंडर्स ऑन द प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर व्हिचएवर प्रोडक्ट, राइट, अगर एफडी है तो एफडी, एनसीडी तो एनसीडी. रेगुलेटर का काम ये होता है कि आप चेक करें कंपनी इज परफॉर्मिंग एज पर द गाइडलाइंस सो दैट देयर इज नो एक्सट्रिंसिक रिस्क टू द इन्वेस्टर. FD में एक additional benefit होता है which is the 5 lakh rupee guarantee on any FDs.
Yes,
That mechanism is not there for any other asset class not just in India but globally also beyond FDs. So I don't think वो P2P lending में भी कभी आएगा. The idea is that provision or that facility is only provided to banking ecosystem because that is the bedrock of any industry. बाकी सब asset classes are supposed to be slightly higher risk and slightly higher return than FDs.
तो ये क्या आप लोग अपनी एसोसिएशन बनाकर एक पूल क्रिएट करके ये इंश्योरेंस नहीं कर सकते?
सर तो ये as of now as per guidelines is not allowed. But उसमें भी अगर आप जैसे DICGC का भी पोल देखेंगे, it is not adequate to cover let's say 2 or 3 banks defaulted one go large banks. It is always basis government guarantee. आप अगर इंडस्ट्री साइज इतना बड़ा है, उसका एक परसेंटेज का आप इंश्योरेंस पूल बनाएंगे, इट विल ऑलवेज बी अ परसेंटेज ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री साइज. So rarely will an insurance pool without government backing be able to fulfill any and every default of such a platform. In the past there were a couple of platforms that were trying to do this, but guidelines currently prohibit any platform from providing a direct or indirect guarantee. The idea is very simple. RBI हर इन्वेस्टर को ये नहीं कहना चाहता कि सब प्रोडक्ट रिस्क फ्री है. अगर सब प्रोडक्ट रिस्क फ्री है तो सबका रिटर्न सेम होगा. There is a certain element of risk which investors need to understand. Advisors like you all need to explain to the investors. And because of that slightly high risk, there is a scope or element of higher return. If इस पे DICGs का इंश्योरेंस आ जाएगा, we'll be more than happy. But हम रेट FD के बराबर कर देंगे अगले दिन. So this is how, for the benefit of everyone or some people who are not aware of how P2P lending works, this is how it works. Investors होते हैं बहुत सारे. RBI has mandated an escrow and trustee mechanism. All investor money goes into the escrow account. Investor money does not come into the company's bank account. So it is unlike a NCD जहाँ आप अगर कोई कंपनी का NCD करते हैं, वो पैसे उसके current account में जाते हैं. Then the company can decide how to use the money as they deem fit. All of that is not allowed here. कोई भी lender का अगर 1 भी रुपया आ रहा है, वो पूरा पैसा escrow account में जाता है. इस escrow account में the platform, P2P platform has no rights. We can't go to the bank account and even deduct or do a debit transaction or one thing. Sorry?
You highlight some
Points about escrow account. He wants to know what is escrow account.
So मैम escrow account is a special purpose account जिसका use case वो is defined in the charter of the escrow account कि आप ये escrow account सिर्फ इस कारण से यूज कर सकते हैं। अगर कंपनी का करंट अकाउंट होता है मान लीजिए, तो मैं कोई भी पर्पस के यूज कर सकता हूँ, सैलरी पे करने के लिए, कोई प्रोडक्ट खरीदने के लिए, केपेक्स खरीदने के लिए, रेंट पे करने के लिए। एक escrow account का डिफाइंड पर्पस होता है। जैसे आप जानते हो पहले एक IPO का escrow account होता था कि कोई कंपनी ने अगर IPO लॉन्च किए तो उसके पैसे कंपनी करंट अकाउंट में थे, escrow अकाउंट में जाते थे, एंड फिर जिनको अलॉटमेंट मिला उनके पैसे वहाँ रह जाते थे, जिनको अलॉटमेंट नहीं मिला वहीं से रिफंड होते थे। द पर्पस वाज दिस टू एंश्योर दैट वो escrow अकाउंट या वो अकाउंट इज रिंग फेंस्ड फ्रॉम द कंपनी। कल अगर कंपनियों को कुछ होता है, कुछ इशू आता है, तो आपके पैसे या इन्वेस्टर्स के पैसे उस अकाउंट में सेफ है। वर्स्ट केस में एक ट्रस्टी होता है, व्हिच इन आवर केस इज IDBI बैंक, IDBI कैपिटल, दे विल रिटर्न द मनी बैक टू इन्वेस्टर्स। जो म्यूचुअल फंड्स में भी होता है, आज अगर हम नई एमसी के साथ भी काम करते हैं तो पैसे उनके करंट अकाउंट में नहीं जाते, मनी गोज इनटू अ ट्रस्टी अकाउंट, एंड इन द वर्स्ट केस इफ द एमसी वाज ceased to exist, the trustee will liquidate all the holdings and return the money back to the investor. So therefore none of you all worry कि अगर ये नई एमसी है तो यार ये अगर नहीं चली, इसका प्रॉफिटेबल नहीं है, तो how will it function? People are comfortable even in new MCs as long as scheme is doing well. So RBI has envisaged कि similar structure P2P में replicate करते हैं, जहाँ लेंडर का पैसा अगर आप कंपनी को दोगे, then let's say a DHFL kind of event can potentially happen. So it is a new and evolved version of NBFCs, जहाँ बोलते हैं आप अपने करंट अकाउंट में पैसे लीजिए ही मत, तो आपके ऊपर कोई काउंटर पार्टी रिस्क नहीं। हम यहाँ से जब डिसबर्समेंट करना होता है, हम बैंक को सीधा इंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं दे सकते हैं, हमें वो ट्रस्टी को इंस्ट्रक्शंस भेजने होते हैं। Each and every rupee goes via the trustee. Trustee will forward the instructions to the bank and उसी के बाद उसमें से पैसे डेबिट होंगे। Same for repayments, जब borrower की EMI रिकलेक्ट करते हैं तब हम ट्रस्टी को इंस्ट्रक्शन देते हैं, ट्रस्टी बैंक को आगे भेजता है, एंड फिर रिकलेक्शन होता है वहाँ से।
बहुत इन्वेस्टर्स का ये क्वेश्चन होता है कि हम टाटा बिरला और इन सबको जानते हैं,
Correct.
ये और या आपको जानते हैं कि आपकी फेस वैल्यू का अमाउंट जो भी हम इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं वो देते हैं, बट हम लिक्विड लोन्स या एग्जाम्पल पे किसी और को जानते नहीं है, तो हम उन पे कितना ट्रस्ट कर सकते हैं? ये तो आपका स्टार्टअप है, कुछ टाइम बाद हो सकता है 5 years बाद डाउन द लाइन यू विल नॉट बी इन दिस इंडस्ट्री, यू विल बी स्विचिंग समथिंग डिफरेंट, तो वो
नहीं करता मैं।
तो क्या चीज उनके लिए सेफ्टी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है? ये इन्वेस्टर का क्वेश्चन है,
एकदम फेयर क्वेश्चन है सर। जैसे आपने बोला, मैंने फर्स्ट ही पॉइंट बोला कि हमारा एमसी से डिसएडवांटेज ये है कि बड़े नेम्स इसमें नहीं आएंगे, बिकॉज़ दिस सेगमेंट व्हिच इज
हाउ वी कैन कन्विंस देम?
सी वी हैव टू एक्सप्लेन देम व्हाट इज द रोबस्टनेस ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशन। कल आज अगर वी हैव सीन इन द पास्ट, पहले बोला था टाटा बिरला अंबानी कभी डिफॉल्ट नहीं करेंगे, वन ऑफ देम हैज ऑलरेडी डिफॉल्टेड, अनदर वाज ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ डिफॉल्ट विद आइडिया। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि ये लोग कभी डिफॉल्ट नहीं करेंगे, but if the institution itself is robust, if it is profitable, then the likelihood of default अपने आप goes down. इन सब का बैकिंग का कब जरूरत होता है? जब कंपनी लॉस में नहीं है। If the company itself is profitable, today an HUL is extremely profitable. कभी डिफॉल्ट का चांसेस very limited. But let's say within the Tata group there will be companies which are loss making. Not that Tatas will allow a default in the near run, but अगर कंपनी अपने आप में profitable है, then the backing matters less. Having said that, I agree कि वो एक issue है इस इंडस्ट्री में, which is where your and my role comes in. We'll have to convince the investors that the underlying mechanism is robust.
What is the volatility of this your company is want to ask?
That I'll
Like
talk.
5 years you are in profit, but say for next 3 years you will be in loss then profit.
Ma'am, so luckily we are already profitable, so it's not a hypothetical question for us. See, so you will have to continuously keep tracking the financials of the company also. Beyond just how the fund is performing, how the schemes are performing, आपको कंपनी के financials भी देखने चाहिए. Having said that, let's say worst case मान लेते हैं company does not exist. वही हो सकता है downside कि since we are not a Tata Birla, the company में cease to exist. उस दिन क्या होगा? उस दिन जो भी पैसे हैं जो इस शीट में आप देख रहे हैं, इस स्लाइड पे आप देख रहे हैं, lie in that same escrow account. What will happen? The trustee will step in. He will say, जैसे फ्रैंकलिन के केस में होता है, SBI stepped in. They will liquidate all the holdings over a period of time, जितना टेन्योर होगा उसके हिसाब से, and investors' money will come back. So not that
में कौन-कौन है?
IDBI capital है सर, IDBI.
Yes. और ओनर्स में कौन-कौन है आपके?
Owners में सर me and my partner Achal Mittal are the two co-founders, and we have raised capital from primarily two entities. Matrix Partners करके एक VC investor है, and Cred करके आपने सुना है, Credit Card Bill Payment app है. They have also recently come in as an investor. As a company, our total net
आप
worth.
दो जने हैं,
हाँ जी.
आपने ऑटोमेशन में सक्सेशन प्लान, कोविड ने सब लोगों को कहा uncertainty is there. What you have made the succession plan in your absence.
Sure. So sir.
आप suppose आपकी are you married or a bachelor? मैरिड है। कोई चीज़ ऐसी आती है कि आपको वाइफ कहती है कि मैं तो वहाँ से पोस्ट कर रही हूँ कनाडा से और तुम्हें चलना पड़ेगा, डंडे के घर पे चलना पड़ेगा, तो आप साल 2 साल के लिए उसके साथ चले गए, तो पीछे से यहाँ का ऑटोमेशन सिस्टम कितना आपका है, रोबस्ट है कि वो दैट शुड मूव। हम रहे ना रहे, पिक्चर में बिजनेस करना चाहिए।
Sir, so that is one thing that startups by force आपको सिखाते हैं, क्योंकि
नहीं, स्टार्टअप में भी कई सारे, अगर आप देखेंगे 100 स्टार्टअप आते हैं तो सक्सेसफुल 100 नहीं होते।
सक्सेसफुल तो सर बहुत ही स्मॉल परसेंटेज होता है, नेचर ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री इज सच, बट आई एम सेइंग दे फोर्स यू टू एंश्योर दैट द बिजनेस इज नॉट डिपेंडेंट ऑन यू, क्योंकि कंपनी इतने पेस पे ग्रो हो रही होती है, यू हैव टू बिल्ड अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम। सो we'll discuss this offline, but we built a very strong team of 7 or 8 people. In fact, today I'm very happy to state, and you can check with some of the team members, अगर day to day कुछ काम है, there I am not involved. Where am I involved? For the growth of the business, आगे करना। So unless आप वो day to day से निकलेंगे, आप भी जानते होंगे, this is true for the small business also, for the largest of business also. If you are not able to focus on the future, if you are stuck in day to day events and day to day activities, business will not move. So that we by force we've had to do because the company is growing at a very rapid pace.
Please.
Sure. So we'll just continue and understand what the risk in P2P, right? Similar to अब क्या हो गया, लास्ट 2-3 साल में P2P segment has started making inroad. People have started understanding how it works. Investors have started understanding it. Advisors have also adopted. But it's also important to understand the risk. And also to understand the fact that all P2P platforms are not the same. जैसे आपने पूछा, you will have to constantly evaluate, not just the balance sheet, business model भी कहाँ लगाने। अगर I'm sure सबके फैमिली में एक वो पर्सन होता है who has lost money in the stock market और share market, फिर नोशन उसका ये होता है कि stock market is risky. But you all know better than that कि stock market in itself is not risky. आप depends on your approach to the market. आप large cap diversified mutual fund में डालने fairly safe and you have a long horizon. But if you invest into penny cap stocks in hoping कि money will double in a quarter, it is as risky. So no asset class by itself is risky or safe. You have to understand which are the companies operating. So इसलिए हमने डेट के भी एग्जाम्पल दिए हैं। Bajaj FD is at 7.5%. Kesoram Industries, a BK Birla Group industry, recently did a front page newspaper advertisement trying to raise FDs at 12%. Obviously, if it were extremely safe and there were enough takers, उनको 12% देने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, right? There is an element of risk built in. Banks are probably not willing to lend, which is why they've come to the retail public wanting to borrow at 12%. NCDs maybe you'll find the best of the names Tata's borrowing at 7 or 8% and some new entities borrowing at 12 to 14%. This is purely a function of the risk, and jitna higher return, most likely higher risk exists. And same is the case for P2P. So what do you need to evaluate with P2P? Yes, sir, first is the management. Not only the founders, do they have a strong management team? The second they are strong, third they are strong. Is it working like an institution or is it working like a 1 or 2 member company who are driving the growth of the business? Second is the business model. Lending in itself, the notion is that lending is common and safe, but lending के बहुत सारे layers होते हैं। किसको आप lend कर रहे हैं, क्या quantum का lend कर रहे हैं, कितने tenure के लिए lend कर रहे हैं। There are multiple elements of this which an investor or an advisor has to understand before venturing out. FD करते हैं, safe है, simple है, 5 लाख तक कर रहे हैं, कोई टेंशन नहीं। 5 लाख के ऊपर अगर आप कर रहे हैं, then you still have to evaluate the balance sheet of the bank. बैंक अच्छा है कि नहीं। जब उसमें आपको evaluation करने की जरूरत है, P2P में तो definitely you have to evaluate all of these factors. Third is the platform. Balance sheet कितना strong है platform का? Platform is profitable, not profitable. What is the runway of the platform if it is not profitable? Past track record क्या है? कितने महीने में या कितने years में they have turned profitable? So that shows propensity. Is the model likely to succeed or not? NPS, I think I'll cover this in detail. Ma'am has already asked कि finally वो platform के NPS क्या है? And not just at platform level, at a scheme level. कहीं म्यूचुअल फंड में होता है, 15 स्कीम है, एक स्कीम बहुत अच्छा कर रही है, that gets marketed, but the remaining 14 schemes are not doing well. So at a platform level, what are the NPS? Not at a scheme level. Risk adjusted return क्या है? मतलब अगर if a platform is giving you higher returns, is there higher risk that you're taking? There will be higher returns for a reason, right? So that again you have to evaluate. And finally, transparency. Have they given you enough information to even evaluate? आपके पास सब data points, सब fact points. Has it been evaluated by a third party? For example, we've gone and had the entire portfolio evaluated by both CRISIL and ICRA. They have shared their reports on what their views about the underlying portfolio is, and both of them are very favorable about how we've underwritten in the last 4-5 years. So ICRA again, for your information, had given us a AA minus rating, which is a very good rating for a 4-5-year-old platform. It is very rare that they give this level of rating for a company in the BFSI and the lending space in the very early days, unless they have raised 1,000 crores of capital. This again was a provisional rating because जो आप देख रहे हैं प्रोविजनल वर्ड है बिकॉज RBI does not allow us to place these loans, so it is a proxy rating given assuming that if the loans were to be placed, this would be the rating that we would get. So these are some of the numbers about the platform, man. 4,000 crores of disbursement till date, including COVID, without any write-offs. Banks में क्या होता है, write-off करके वो आज का gross NPA बताते हैं. These are gross NPA numbers since inception are at less than 1%, including the COVID period. Worst of the times that can come on the lending segment. We've gone through that cycle, and the gross NPAs are below 1%, including that period. 100% success rate since inception for each and every investor across all the schemes. कोई भी investor on the platform, if he has invested on the platform and stayed put for 10 to 15 days, he's made exactly the indicative return that we had communicated to him at the investment size. So not a single investor on the platform till date in the last 5 years has ever lost principal. So that should give you a lot of comfort.
Yeah, Gautam, one question. See, in P2P platform, one is the rate of interest that the borrowers get, right?
Correct.
And then the rate of interest you give to the investor. And in between lies the safety margin.
Yes.
And the safety margin also absorbs the NPAs.
Correct.
So liquid loans traditionally is having lower NPAs or gross NPAs compared to other platforms.
Correct.
Right? So safety of margin takes a very small piece for the gross NPAs.
Correct.
Right? So I just want to understand, like, if you have such a big safety of margin, right, then why you are not able to pass on higher interest to the investors?
Sure. So I'll skip to this. I'll cover and cover in more detail later. This is the point that sir is mentioning. कि investor को अगर return let's say 10% मिल रहा है and we are onward lending to the borrowers at 23%, 13% becomes a margin of safety. अगर वो 13% तक NPA नहीं आता है, the investor makes 10% return. So sir का question है कि अगर 13% margin of safety है and आपका NPA अगर 0.84% है, worst case peak of COVID it had gone to 1.6 as you see on the left, then why are you keeping such a large safety margin? So इसका simple and single answer, there's no convoluted or magic trick here, is that the cost of operations of doing this business is very high. आप अगर एक देखते हैं 50 लाख का होम लोन है, 1 करोड़ का होम लोन है, होम लोन होते हैं 20 से 30 साल, उसमें बैंक को या NBFC को मेहनत करनी है एक बार इनिशियली, टाइटल पेपर भी वैल्यूएट करना है, सब कुछ करना है, बोरोवर चेक करना है, फिजिकल विजिट करना है, एक बार कॉस्ट आ जाएगा. मान लीजिए 50,000 का कॉस्ट आ रहा है 50,000 के लोन, 50 लाख के लोन पे, विच इज ऑन द हायर साइड, 1% हुआ, 1% स्प्रेड कितने साल में होता है, 20 साल में. सो एज अ परसेंटेज ऑफ द लोन ऑपरेशन कॉस्ट इज वेरी वेरी मिनिमम. तो आपको ये हाउसिंग फाइनेंस NBFC का कॉस्ट टू इनकम रेशियो उठा के देखेंगे 12-15% होता है. बजाज आप देखेंगे, बजाज विच इज द लार्जेस्ट लेंडर, हमारे से 1000 टाइम्स बड़ा है एंड ऑपरेट्स इन द सेम स्पेस, उसका सब हटा के 3-4% मार्जिन आता है. ही लेंड्स एट अ हायर रेट देन अस बिकॉज इस बिजनेस में 30-40 हज़ार का लोन है, दे रहे हैं आप 6 महीने के लिए. कॉस्ट ऑफ इवैल्यूएशन अगर 1,000-1,500 रुपया भी आया, दैट बिकम्स 7-8% ऑफ कॉस्ट ऑफ ऑपरेशंस. सो द कॉस्ट ऑफ ऑपरेशंस ऑफ दिस बिजनेस इज वेरी वेरी हाई अनलाइक मोस्ट अदर लेंडिंग बिजनेसेस.
So that is what I am saying. The safety margin is not actually safety margin, because that includes cost of operations.
Yes.
So the safety margin that should be reflected by not only by liquid loans, but every platform should be minus of the cost of operation.
Yes.
Because that is, see, what happens is that when you go to an investor and explain this thing, safety margins, right? So there are two outcomes of it. One thing is ki why so much of where this money is going, is the company is earning too much from us, right? The second thing is the competition that the liquid loans faces, right? Because there are so many platforms now and some of them are offering 12%, 30% URL. And they operate in the nearly same business model, where the borrowers may be a bit different, right? And they offer the same safety margin. Again, the cost of operations may be nearly same in terms of technology, the time they are into the business, it may vary to an extent, right? So liquid loans is in mid of it, like where it offers very good products when it comes to liquid products, but on the higher interest rates for say 1 year, 2 years, 3 year horizons, you are not able to go beyond 10.5%, right? There may be reason behind it that you know better than I know it, but since it's a alternate investment options, right? And a lot of people look at higher returns.
Correct.
So I just want to reflect upon this, that the safety margin is exactly not the safety margin, because it's a part of a cost which is coming under safety margin.
Fair point, sir. The only distinction there is the cost is incurred from our current account. तो जब इन्वेस्टर ने पैसे डाले हैं, उसके पैसे डिप्लॉय होते हैं, वी हैव ऑलरेडी इनकर्ड द कॉस्ट एट द आउटसेट, जो कॉस्ट ऑफ ऑप्स है, बिकॉज उसके जब पैसे डिप्लॉय, लेट्स से आपके इन्वेस्टर ने 1 लाख रुपए डाले, व्हेन दैट 1 लाख रुपीस इज डिप्लॉयड, वी इनकर द कॉस्ट ऑफ ऑपरेशंस, बल्क ऑफ इट एट दैट आउटसेट फ्रॉम आवर करंट अकाउंट, एंड देन आफ्टर अ ईयर व्हेन ही रिसीव्स हिज रिटर्न, ही गेट्स द मनी बैक, वी गेट द मनी बैक. सो नोशनली जो सेफ्टी मार्जिन है वो सेफ्टी मार्जिन है, बट अगर लेट्स से सेफ्टी मार्जिन श्रिंक होता है, then what is going to happen, the company is going to become unprofitable. मैंने 8 रुपए लगाए, let's say out of 100 rupees for cost of operations, बट एनपीए ज़्यादा आ गया, 8 के बदले में 5 रुपये ही मिले मेरे को एज रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम द एस्क्रो. So now if this cycle repeats multiple times, I will soon go out of business. So in the long run, you are right that the safety margin has to exist. If it goes below that, the platform will become unprofitable and shut after 2-3 years. But in the short run, because expense already हो गए, आज जो पैसे deployed हैं, उस पे expense already हो गया. तो आज अगर 13% safety margin squeeze हो के सिर्फ 1% बचता है, तो all the investors as of today will be safe. But next year, when we try to redeploy the capital, we will not have enough to redeploy again. So our size will shrink.
So there is a big business risk in this. Today, the P2P platform is able to give loans to borrowers at a rate of 23%, basically 18 to 23%, right? So because of that, there is a safety margin. You are able to cover your cost of operations, and you are able to offer this much, right? For long-term investors, like somebody who is investing for 1 year, 2 year, right? The business scenario may change slightly, right?
Yes.
There is a risk of not getting borrowers at that rate of interest. So how Liquilons is taking care of that?
So good part about us is, sir, we work with dealers and businesses. We are not sourcing borrowers directly. जो sir ने भी question पूछा कि what if rates come down eventually? We are working with B2B businesses, no cost EMI दे रहे हैं, very similar to what Bajaj Finance does in consumer durable space. जब आप phone लेने जाते हैं, कई phone के laptop पे no cost EMI होता है. Now that interest rate is generally sticky. So last 1.5 years we've not increased interest rate so much क्योंकि dealers या businesses बोलते हैं कि आप हमारा rate fix रखिए, market में क्या आ रहा है उससे हमें ज़्यादा पड़ेगी. When you go to borrowers directly, the volume or the IRR can go up or down, which is why it is important to also understand that, like you mentioned, कि कुछ products are, कुछ platforms are giving a higher return. Not to say negative about any of the platforms, but you also have to assess कि वो the risk that you are mentioning is exacerbated when a platform is giving higher returns today. Because already उनका safety margin as well as profitability is squeezed. So if you are doing a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year investment, you have to take a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year forward looking call. That we are saying the reason we are offering what we are offering is we want to be extremely confident. पहले lender का पैसा safe है. Return बाद में आएगा ना sir. अगर tomorrow I don't have confidence that I will operate as a business, what is the point of going out and getting more money today and promising or setting a higher expectation when it could put the business at danger. So we operate in a zone where we are okay or comfortable with lower funds coming in and delivering a return which is sustainable in the long run. You are seeing with lot of startups, right? जो हम देखते हैं कि listed startups है, बोलते हैं profitable क्यों नहीं है? क्योंकि वो growth के चक्कर में compromise on certain business principles, all not on principles but on the business economics. That obviously leads to a higher risk in the future.
आप जो लोन देते हैं उसमें क्या जैसे मोबाइल वगैरह वाले जो वेंडर्स हैं शॉपकीपर्स के थ्रू भी लोन देते हैं?
Yes, sir. So I'll cover that directly. कि 4 सेगमेंट में हम लोन करते हैं. फर्स्ट इज एजुकेशन अपस्किलिंग. कोई अगर इंडिविजुअल है, वो हैज कंप्लीटेड हिज ग्रेजुएशन, अब बोलता है कि आई एम वर्किंग इन अ कंपनी, अब मेरे को अपस्किल करना है, एक डेटा साइंस का कोर्स करना है, आजकल एआई चल रहा है तो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का कोर्स करना है, कोई डिजिटल मार्केटिंग का कोर्स करना चाहता है, तो उस कोर्स के लिए देते हैं. एंड इसमें बोरोवर 0% पे कर रहे हैं. सो वी डू द सेम बजाज फाइनेंस मॉडल बट नॉट इन कंज्यूमर ड्यूरेबल्स. वी डू इट इन दीज सेगमेंट्स. एजुकेशन अपस्किलिंग, डिस्क्रिशनरी हेल्थ केयर, किसी का हार्ट ट्रीटमेंट है, लंग ट्रीटमेंट है, उसके लिए फाइनेंसिंग नहीं करते हैं, बट किसी को अगर हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट करवाना है, कॉस्मेटिक ट्रीटमेंट करवाना है फ्रॉम बीएलसीसी. लाइफस्टाइल इज द लार्जेस्ट प्लेयर इन द स्टेम सेल बैंकिंग सेगमेंट. अगर किसी का बेबी बॉर्न होता है, टुडे पेरेंट्स डू अ स्टेम सेल बैंकिंग कि उसके स्टेम सेल्स प्रिजर्व कर देते हैं. कपल वांट्स टू गो फॉर एन आईवीएफ ट्रीटमेंट. All of these use cases are such that कि मेरे अगर पॉकेट में पैसे आए, I have the purchasing power, only then will I go. These are high ticket purchases. These are not like a phone की कोई 5,000 का भी कोई फोन खरीदेगा, 1 लाख का भी खरीदेगा, कई बार बजट के बियॉन्ड नहीं खरीदेगा. These are use cases where only if I have the purchasing power I will go. So likelihood of default also reduces. क्योंकि वो स्टोर में गया था with the intention कि मैं पूरा पैसे पे करूँगा. And then if you give him a no cost EMI loan there, risk comes down significantly. Second savior here or reducer of risk is the fact that कि पैसे borrower के बैंक अकाउंट में नहीं जाते. I think one of the notions around P2P lending is कि खराब borrowers आते हैं जिनको कहीं भी लोन नहीं मिल रहा है, वो प्लेटफॉर्म पे आते हैं और उनको आप पैसे दोगे तो रिस्क हाई है. हाँ, यहाँ बोल रहे हैं वी आर गेटिंग द बेस्ट ऑफ द borrowers. आप समझिए एनएमआई में से कोई अगर ऑनलाइन कोई कोर्स कर रहा है, वर्किंग इन अ गुड कंपनी से एन HDFC बैंक अर्निंग 70-80,000 रुपीज, उसको 50,000 के लिए 1 लाख के लिए लोन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. ही इज टेकिंग द लोन जस्ट बिकॉज नो कॉस्ट EMI पे. आई एम श्योर आप जो ऑडियंस बैठे हैं, none of you all probably have taken a personal loan recently, but at least half the people, if you ask within your circle of 5 or 10 people, someone will have taken a no cost EMI loan with guarantee.
No cost EMI, it means more rate of interest.
It means zero rate of interest, no rate of interest.
No.
The seller is paying you the interest.
Seller is paying us the interest, which is why the 23% that you saw here, 23% अगर मैं borrower को जाके charge करूँ तो खराब borrowers आएंगे. A Zen is never going to borrow from me at 23%. वो बोलेगा I have enough salary, I have enough savings. Only risky borrowers will borrow at 23%. But 23% return इसलिए बनना है because the dealer, which in our case अपने मार्जिन में से पे करता है, and वो 23% एब्सोल्यूट नहीं पे करते हैं, 6-8% करते हैं, बट क्योंकि मंथली इंटरेस्ट पे आउट, मंथली EMI पे आउट है, वो पैसा कंपाउंड होते रहता है, तो then we earn at 23% IRR. The absolute payout by the dealer is not 23%. That means in the safety into this model.
So one question is that since you said कि अभी interest rate scenario ये है because of this 18, 20, 23% है, but when interest rate scenario changes, so that's why you are keeping the your margin of safety 13-14%, right? तो जब वो कम हो जाएगा तो फिर वो मतलब then it will help you to cover up that margin. But in that case, so you are also reducing the rate of interest, ना?
We will not reduce it now.
Because that is what happened over the last 2 years. You have reduced, last 3 years, you have reduced the rate of interest which is offered to the investors.
So last 3 years we reduced the risk.
जबकि रेट तो बढ़ रहे थे, पर आपका जो IRR है वो तो 20 to 23% है लास्ट 3-4 years से.
बिजनेस का प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी
मतलब वो 13-14% मार्जिन उनका मार्जिन बढ़ा है प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी.
Very fine observation, sir. So last 2-3 years हमने risk premium कम किया है. पहले क्या था? We had also started at 12%. In the first couple of years we were also unprofitable. Because तब इतना न्यू था इंडस्ट्री. If you had gone to investors and said कि 8% पे पैसे डालिए, none of the investors would have invested in the 2018-2019 era. Now last 2-3 years वो जो risk premium था initially for people to try out the product because there was no history, no background, वो अब कम किया. अब now you will see the interest rates going forward are going to be much more stable, which is the case in the last 1.5 years. You will not see as much gyration as you have seen in the past. Because initially there was a very high risk premium that we were paying. जब 12% दे रहे थे, we knew we were operating at a loss. But we had to operate at a loss in the first couple of years because otherwise investors would have not even tried the product. But that is not sustainable in the long run. So that is why now you will see we will by and large move in line with interest rates. I think now from here on, if you do a 3-year chart or 4-year chart, it will be very coincidental to the interest rate.
आपका revenue model में तो ये fees है, right? For managing and maintaining the platform. राइट ना, तो वो जो भी है तो आपका पहले भी होता तभी भी NPA कम था, राइट ना, अभी भी कम है, तो ऑब्वियसली जो मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी है वो तो वैसा ही है ना.
मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी सेम है सर, बट जो नेट मार्जिन आता है ना आफ्टर कॉस्ट इज अबाउट 2-3% इन दिस काइंड ऑफ बिजनेस, नॉट मोर देन दैट. कोई भी NBFC का आप उठा के देंगे नेट इंटरेस्ट मार्जिन विल बी इन द 2-3% रेंज. तो दैट अगर आज से मैं 2-3% रेट वापस बढ़ा दूँ, we will again become loss making. So that is the limited margin of safety which exists across. क्योंकि कोई भी borrower, आप मान लीजिए कोई borrower है, if I say I'm a very good company, क्या आप होम लोन में मेरे को 20 पैसा भी एक्स्ट्रा देंगे? Let's say ICICI Bank is offering you 9% and I say 9.2, I will give you very good service. You will say नहीं मैं 9% पे लूँगा. Borrowers do not care about the brand. Borrower बोलते हैं जहाँ भी cheapest मिलेगा, I will take it.
Okay, one question was this was raised by one of your.
Yes. So I'll take this last question and then yes.
This question was that P2P are not supposed to have a liquid fund. I mean, a fund with no lock-in. That is what I was told by and shown some RBI circular or something like that. But P2P spaces are only supposed to give fixed tenure product. So and whoever is giving a open product is not following the norms.
So I'll describe the norms, sir. There is absolutely no RBI circular which has been actually issued by RBI. This could have been put up by some other player where there is no RBI circular. Having said that, RBI has been continuously evaluating all the P2Ps over the last 1 year and evaluating their business models and trying to understand what are the best practices and not. So if and when they say that it is not allowed, firstly I don't think it will ever be said that it is not allowed because अगर आप कोई किसी के 1 year product में भी डाल दो, not all loans are 1 year. At the end of those 1 year, they actually do a secondary market and sell all of the loans in your portfolio. क्योंकि borrower तो अलग-अलग टेन्योर के लोन देने हैं. अगर आपने 12 महीने का किसी को लोन भी दे दिया, पहले महीने में उसका EMI वापस आ गया. अब how will you find a borrower who is exactly borrowing for 11 months? Right? So all platforms and not just India, globally the secondary market is a very important component of this asset class. The only one other way is कि आप आज 1 लाख रुपए डालें, हर महीने आपको 3-4 हज़ार रुपए वापस आ रहे हैं. That is neither good for the platform, nor for the advisor, nor for the investor. वो वापस वो 3-4 thousand यूज भी नहीं कर पाएगा. Instead of creating wealth, you will be depleting wealth क्योंकि उसके current account, savings account में चले जाएगा, कहीं ना कहीं खर्चे में यूज हो जाएगा. So the principle that is built will also get broken. So I'll just complete the rest of the presentation now and then take questions later. So quickly, what are our unique selling points? Very, very simple. Some of these I've already covered. Balance sheet is the strongest in the industry. We are over 100 crores of net worth, probably the only company in the space that has that kind of net worth. And we've been profitable. COVID year, which was the worst year for lending, is the first year that we turned profitable. Since then, we have only increased our profits over the period of time. Business model is very robust and strong. Lending to high quality borrowers जो लोन इसलिए नहीं ले रहे हैं कि उनको लोन का जरूरत है. They are taking a no cost EMI loan. Some of you all would have taken. I have taken in the past, in spite of not requiring a loan. So returns are low, but risk is also low. We are possibly the safest product or investment in this asset class. Highest track record of not a single investor losing principal or even interest for that matter. Track record is the longest. 100% success rate, not just for returns, for monthly interest payout and for any redemptions that investors have also placed. This I think this I'll speak broadly. The thesis here is कि कोई भी आप डेट प्रोडक्ट में डालते हैं उसमें रिटर्न लेंडिंग से ही आता है. तो इन्वेस्टर्स थिंक P2P lending is risky, but all fixed income products create a return for the investor by lending. And lending में primarily दो ही players होते हैं, corporate borrowers and retail borrowers. As you can see here, corporate borrowers historically in India as well as globally have been more risky. So these are top 5 banks in the country. Corporate lending books for each of those 5 banks on an average have been 5x riskier as compared to retail lending. So although P2P lending in around notion खराब है, if you lend to good quality retail borrowers, they are extremely safe. Which is the reason why Bajaj Finance and HDFC Bank are valued well, right? इनका mainly retail lending है. Profit expectation of NPA volatility is very, very low. Where do we operate? We operate in the retail segment, giving mainly no cost EMI loans. Consumers and most importantly quality of borrowers is very, very high, which I'll cover here. एक सिविल स्कोर का कॉन्सेप्ट होता है इन रिटेल बॉलर्स विच इज रेटिंग फ्रॉम 300 to 900. 300 to 600 are considered to be risky bowlers. 600 to 700 are considered to be medium or sub near prime bowlers. 300 to 600 are considered to be subprime, and 700 plus are considered to be prime bowlers. This is the intent. Civil tells you कि intent क्या है, वो बंदा पैसे वापस देगा कि नहीं, उसका नियत क्या है. Second is the ability, which is let's say this pyramid that you see here. HNI is affluent, aspirational, rural, and MFIs. In descending order of affluence. HNIs obviously don't need to borrow. Affluent people also generally don't need to borrow, but they have a credit card, Amex, Sky, Citica, which is a prestige symbol, so they don't need to borrow, but more of a convenience. And aspirational is like the large Indian middle class, right? जहाँ ICICI Bank, HDFC, and Bajaj Finance primarily get bulk of their business from. People who don't need to borrow on day-to-day basis, but कोई भी lump sum purchase करना है, they will need credit of some form. So that is the segment that in which we operate. People who are aspirational and affluent. Typically, these are the other players who operate in that segment. Extremely safe. Some of these names you heard. Underlying is the same. And within that, we are doing only no cost. We are not doing a home loan which is 20 years. 20 years baad where is Zen, I don't know. 12 months later, I know where he is. So the probability of my prediction going right is higher in a 12-month period as compared to a 20-year period. These segments I've already covered. Upskilling education, discretionary healthcare, fintech partners, and home decor. These are 3-4 segments that we lend to. And we've stuck with these segments over the last 5 years. So जो इसमें track record है is built over a 5-year period. We have not shifted the business model multiple times.
What is the maximum loan that a person can borrow?
As per regulation itself, it's capped at 10 lakh rupees, and maximum tenure is also capped at 36 months. So no individual or entity for that matter can borrow more than those numbers.
Is it through different P2P platforms?
Across P2P platforms, that is the maximum.
And how will we get to know that? How do we know that?
So typically there is no central repository. It's basis borrower declaration right now. But our average ticket size is 50,000. So to that extent, अगर 50,000 का हम loan दे रहे हैं, it's not the most important element anyway. But we know the total borrowing of the investor, of the borrower. Sorry. So अगर उसने कहीं भी कोई बैंक से loan लिया है, that reflects onto his CIBIL profile. So you know the cumulative borrowing. Now, unfortunately, till yet the system is not evolved yet to tell you how much is borrowing from a P2P platform. But anyway, since we consider all levels of borrowing, that is incorporated in our underwriting.
Also, one more thing, since we are a B2B player, right, because you are approaching advisors, now assuming we bring 10 customers and those 10 customers actually fund that particular borrower, how do we have an assurance that you know the entire money that is going to one borrower is not of our clients only? Is there a risk mechanism where you say, okay, it's split it between hundreds of advisors?
So if your investor is investing in 20,000 of rupees, his money is getting deployed across at least 200 borrowers. Which means his average exposure to one borrower is less than 0.5%. Now let's contrast this with, let's say, a debt mutual fund. A good quality debt mutual fund also will diversify across 20, 30, 40 names. Because uske beyond you will not find very good companies in the market to lend to, right? You will find only few AAA names which are of actually high caliber and quality. So now in retail book, the advantage or the best benefit is the fact of diversification. That if one individual borrower defaults at a platform level as well as an investor level, the impact is very, very minimal. So जो margin of safety है 13-14%, for this to get broken, 26% of its borrowers have to default, which means on a pool of 200 borrowers, 50 borrowers have to default, because not everyone will default on the first day. Gradually default होएगा. So 25% borrowers defaulting in a 700 plus CIBIL score is unheard of. There is bureau data of CIBIL that the maximum default that has gone in a 700 plus category is below 1% across all banks and NBFCs in the country.
So my question was, assuming we gave a crore through different set of investors and you lended that crore to a set of investors, what are the chances that the entire 1 crore has come only from our set of lenders?
Very, very unlikely. Extremely unlikely. There is no mechanism to put that into place like you're asking, but because on the same day hundreds of other investors would have invested at a large platform level, even if all of your investors invest on the same day, they will not account for more than 10% of the investments on that day. So their money will automatically get diversified. अगर same set of borrowers को भी गया है, then also I'm saying within that cohort of borrowers, default तो 1 या 2% ही होएगा. So across all of your
Why I'm
investors.
asking you this is because there are a couple of platforms where what has happened, I mean they have come before you is what I would say, but then eventually we tend to figure out, because once you see the loan accounts, right, you see that this list of customers are all ours.
Correct. So
And if
वो-
that customer defaults, actually it's our entire customer's money which is worth for a toss.
Correct. तो वो कब होता है सर? When the volumes are low. See, if you invest 10 lakhs today on the platform, if today on the platform I'm raising only 15 lakhs on that particular day, 66% आपका पैसा है. But if the 10 lakhs is as compared to 10 crores on the day, 1% is your money. So automatically level of diversification will be high. So it's like, why do investors prefer NSE over BSE or any other platform? क्योंकि सबसे ज़्यादा liquidity वहाँ है, सबसे ज़्यादा likelihood of you being able to sell at your price is there. So if you go to the largest platform, your investors will always be a smaller concentration of that platform.
Also,
So
you maintain a cash reserve ratio kind of thing. Like when you say you are giving this money to all the NMIMS aspirant students, right? Do we have a cash reserve ratio kind of a thing? Like when RBI gives any money to bank, they say okay 10% is a reserve with us every time. So do you also maintain that ratio when you lend this money to a particular platform? Because you are
no, we're not
introduced to a
allowed
lot
to
of
do that as per
customers, right?
regulations, but I tell you, we keep obviously at all points of time we endeavor to have more lenders. कि ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए borrower आया platform पे and कोई lender ही नहीं है. So at all points of time, now that the number of lenders is large, there will be some cash in their portfolio. Past में कुछ EMI repayment आया होगा. So at all points of time, there is
If
cash.
default किया वो platform के through, assuming you were introduced to a lot of NMIMS students and those students defaulted, right? Because you did your due diligence, but it went through NMIMS as an entity, right?
Yes.
Do we keep certain portion of money from NMIMS with
You know, so the way to do that, so I understand the risk that you're trying to point out, is कि आप one don't be dependent on one platform. We've all known कि Byju's के साथ क्या हुआ है, some NBFCs who are operating with that. So diversify. We've got today 400 dealer partners. So dependency on one dealer partner is also very, very low. Do within that dealer also don't do all of your volume on the first day. आज अगर lucrative भी है, tomorrow let's say we partner with a Samsung, he can do a 50 crore tranche in the first week itself. But अगर आप 50 crores कर लोगे and something were to go wrong, the risk is very high. Try to season out the book over 6 to 9 months before scaling up with the
Why do other platforms do that? Like right now when we talk about a Lendbox kind of a company, they take 10% as a reservation. That assuming PhonePe clients default, right? Any defaults that happen, that will be recovered from the 10%.
That is अगर sir, not to speak about any platform per se, but if you are overly dependent on one partner, then you will have to keep that.
Isn't it wise, even at your end, though you have 600 partners, or say thousands of partners over time, isn't that a wise?
If you are a good partner, imagine you are an NMIMS. आप बोलो मेरे पास डोर पे 5 या 6 लेंडर खड़े हैं. You are the only lender who's asking for a cash reserve. Why should I give you money? ये cash reserve कौन देगा? The lender or the partner who is not confident about himself, right?
Can we just complete the next session? We'll start. We'll take this all the questions offline because the Volt has to start their session now.
So basically, subvention I've already explained, and some of you will already understand. The dealer pays the interest on behalf of the borrower. Since the borrower is not paying any interest, even the best quality borrowers will not be averse to taking a loan from a platform like us. Versus अगर उनको आप बोलो 12% पे भी लोन देना है, lot of customers will say मेरे पास FD है, debt mutual fund at a lower rate. Why will I take a loan at 12%? Finally, I think the most important piece is we've got the investor first, and this was the first platform which brought this into the entire industry, where we said we will not make a single rupee of return or fees until your investors make the full return. जो पास्ट में इश्यूज हुए थे सर वो बिकॉज प्लेटफॉर्म सेट मैं अपना फीस पहले अपफ्रंट दे देता हूँ, अब जो रिस्क आएगा इन्वेस्टर को आएगा, सिमिलर टू डेट म्यूचुअल फंड्स की उनका एक्सपेंस रेशियो इज फिक्स्ड, अपसाइड इज आल्सो ऑफ द इन्वेस्टर, डाउनसाइड इज आल्सो ऑफ द इन्वेस्टर. We have tweaked that model and said कि पहले X% return, be it 8, 9, 10, whatever the return is, will go to the investor. अगर उसने अपना पूरा return नहीं बनाया, तो we will not make a single rupee of revenue. And we obviously last year our revenues were upwards of 150 crores, so that entire revenue is up at risk in case defaults go up, which obviously we not want to do that at all. So largely I've covered some of these, but just summarizing all the risks again, like I mentioned at the outset. First is counterparty risk. कि अगर आप कोई platform या company को पैसे दे रहे हो for further deployment, that company itself runs away with the money. वो deploy नहीं करते in the manner that you had asked them to. That risk is completely mitigated because RBI has mentioned that there has to be an escrow and trustee mechanism. Money does not come to our current account or bank account; it goes into the escrow account. So there is no way a platform, be it liquid loans or any other P2P platform, can manage with the money. So counterparty risk is completely mitigated. Concentration risk, because we deploy the money across $200-300 borrowers, is mitigated to the maximum extent possible. एक borrower को exposure is less than 0.5%. 10 borrowers भी अगर default करेंगे तो 5% से lower NPA होगा, which is still 1/3 of the overall safety margin. Credit risk we mitigated by getting best quality customers. 700 plus is our average CIBIL score. Interest rate risk, I think sir had asked the gentleman who was here कि rates बढ़ेंगे या कम होंगे. आपने एक बार पैसा डाल दिया, आपके investor ने एक बार पैसा डाल दिया in a particular scheme, whether rates go up or down, his return will not be impacted. Alignment I've covered in detail. I'll quickly just jump onto the schemes and close it at that. Liquid scheme है for all investors who want to do short term parking. एक बार temporary पैसा आया हुआ है, they don't know where to deploy, put it into the liquid scheme. XIRR returns, if you stay invested all of these schemes for at least 15 days, is 8% net in hand of the investor pre-tax. So आप Excel में डालेंगे, exact returns will be 8%. There's no expense ratio after that or before that. This is net returns for the investor. People can lock in the money from 3 months to 36 months. This is like a hard lock-in, similar to an ELSS. एक बार आपने इसमें पैसे डाल दिए, निकाल नहीं सकते. 3 months is the shortest tenure. 36 is the longest tenure. And the flexi lock-in ma'am operates similar to the callable FD. कि उसमें आप डाल दीजिए for 12, 24, 36 months. You can withdraw. If you withdraw, the returns are not the initial return. उससे थोड़ा कम पे return आएगा. तो अगर आपने 9% में डाले in the 12-month product, if you withdraw within the year, it is 7.25. If you put in the 36-month product at 9.25, first year में 7, second year में 8, third year में 8.5, and you can partly break the FD also or the investment also. आपको पूरा पैसा निकालने की जरूरत नहीं है. 3 लाख में से सिर्फ 50,000 का जरूरत है, उतना ही निकालिए. The rest of it continues to earn the 9.25%.
Can we swap clients? Like जो lock-in वाला आपका है?
नहीं. As of now, that option is not there.
Yeah, like it's internal customer. Like if you've got say 100 customers, we say okay, this particular customer needs the money to come in.
Once in a while, if there's a health emergency or something of that sort, we allow that. But generally, investors they don't park more than 5% of their money. So remaining 95% में कहीं ना कहीं
exception भी हुए obviously.
Very strong exception will consider.
But कभी ऐसा होता है तो internally we give you another client where you can get.
Okay. And some of these we've already covered. We'll take all the questions offline.
Commission.
The commission starts at about 90 basis points all inclusive and goes up all the way to 150 basis points per annum basis. So this is for the 1 year product. If you do a 2 year, 3 year product, it is closer to 2.5 and 3.5 inclusive GST.